Hello and welcome to Java Programming, CS187 at NMSU Grants. My name is Zach Smith. I'll be your instructor for this course, and I'm looking forward to taking this adventure with you. I'd like to get started by talking about our book, a few of the changes, then we're going to write our first program, and I'm going to show you how to submit the proper files. So let's go ahead and get started. Our book is Sam's Teach Yourself Java in 24 Hours, and we will be following the book as we go along. However, there are a couple of notable exceptions. Number one, as you've noticed from chapter or hour 1, that we are installing Eclipse instead of NetBeans. And the reason for this is that Eclipse has a larger market share and they have a lot more additional products that we will be using down the road when we do our Android device. Just a lot more accessibility, so we will be doing that. However, they are quite similar to each other, and the instructions for one with a couple of preparations will work with the other. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you'll turn to your book, let's go with chapter or hour 2, and we're going to create your first program. So let's go ahead and open our Eclipse, and let's get started. So the first thing, if you're following the book, it tells you that we need to create a project. Now this project is the umbrella that all of your programming for this course will be under. So you will only take this step one time. So what we need to do, go to File, New, Java Project, and we're going to call this CS187. Please maintain the naming conventions that we provide here in order to help me help you, and also to help you to be able to communicate with your fellow students. So this is project name CS187. We're going to hit Finish. Notice we have this new package or this new file folder in our package excuse me, under our Package Explorer. We're going to hit the little side arrow, and these are the files that Eclipse puts in there for us. The one that we're going to be spending the most time with is this SRC or source folder. And what we're going to do is right click on there, go to New, and here we're going to create a new package. Now each chapter or hour will have its own package, so please follow this convention. And what we're going to do is we're going to create the name, and the name is edu.nmsu.your last name Smith dot, and then the hour or the chapter that the assignments are from. So this is hour 2. Excellent, and click Finish. Notice we have this new file here, this box is with the quadrants in there, and now we're going to right click and create our first class. Now this will become repetition because you will do it at the start of every assignment, hour, or chapter in the book. So next we'll go to New and hit Class, and here we're going to name it. So in the book we have this Salute program, and if you look on the bottom of page 17, number 1, it says class name field, enter Salute, and that's S-A-L-U-T-O-N. Notice the capital first letter. If you've paid attention to the naming conventions from hour 1, you'll understand that classes start with a capital letter and are camel cased, which means that the subsequent each word begins with a capital letter as well. Go ahead and click Finish, and now we have our sample, our beginning or our first Java program. Notice it says salute.java up here, and if you look at the example that's provided in the book on page 21, you'll see these page numbers, these line numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So we're going to duplicate this program. The one exception is that notice we have a public in front of class, and in the book that is not included. There is a slight difference. Your program will run the same either way, and as we go along you'll begin to understand that. So let's go to line 4 and go ahead and type as we see in the book, public static void main. Might help if I spell static correctly. There we go. Following main, we're going to do the parenthesis, which is the number 9 and 0 when holding shift. And when you hit the shift 9 for your first parenthesis, Eclipse will automatically add the second one for you and insert the cursor in the middle because it assumes you're going to type something in there. So we're going to type string with a capital S, box brackets, and finally space ARGS, or in the book they use arguments, again the same thing. In fact, we'll go ahead and follow that with the book this time, and you'll begin to see that that is your choice. Okay, next we're going to push the right arrow key, go past the parenthesis, space one time, and now we're going to do the curly brackets. So that's shift and the curly brace. And once we hit enter, it will automatically add again the second one for us and place our cursor in the middle. Now the curly braces are letting us know, or letting the program know, that we have a block here, and so it'll automatically makes that for you. One thing that's really important to pay attention to is if you highlight or put your mouse beside one curly brace, it will show you its counterpart. This can be very helpful in diagnosing problems. As we look at this one, it goes to the end. So each curly brace will have a beginning and an end, or an open and a close. So next we're going to go ahead and type on line 5, and that's string, which is the type of variable. We're creating the variable name, greeting, is equal to, and we're setting that to equal something, in this case Salud Mondo. Now hit your right arrow again one more time, get outside the double quotes, and notice the double quotes did exactly the same thing as the parentheses. I hit the double quote one time, it provided the second or its counterpart, and put the cursor in the middle. Then we're going to hit semicolon, which is a terminator, and that semicolon will cause you more grief than probably anything else, and it's usually because you have forgotten it. So if pay attention to that, and you'll get used to it, because nearly every line will have a semicolon attached to it. Line 6, we're going to type system.out.println. Now notice as I began to print, we had this menu pop up, and it provides you an example of what it thinks is the 13%, the greatest need based on what you're typing, which in this case print ln is what we're looking for. And if we click that one time, it will complete that for us. It'll put in the parentheses. Notice it puts in the semicolon as well. This is a shortcut or a code completer. And it places the cursor in the middle with the argument 0 defined. In this case we want greeting, which is this greeting right here. So we'll click that twice, and there it is. The next thing we need to do is compile and run. And we'll accomplish that by hitting this green arrow. It will do its deal. If there's no problems, it will run, and it produces or prints the line Salud Mondo. Now, to show you that this line here is in fact printing what we've defined as greeting, I'm going to change this one time. We're going to say the hello world in traditional English, hello world, my first program. Again, we will run it, which means it compiles and then runs, and notice we have hello world, my first program. So at this point, if you've had no problems, congratulations. If you have, 9 times out of 10, it is a typo that has caused the problem. If you're unable to find it, send me a message and show me what you have, and we'll diagnose it. Debugging can be frustrating at first, so don't let it stress you out. We're just going to take it one line at a time. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to find the proper file to submit in your assignment. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go to the NMSU canvas. Let me open that. Okay, and here we have it. It's in student view, and the first assignment does not require the submission of a program. In fact, we're going to go to assignments and down here to chapter 1 and 2, which is where you will submit this. You will go to submit assignment and then choose file. From here you're going to go to your C drive, users, your username, in my case ZR Smith. You're going to come down here usually to the last folder in the users folder, which is workspace, and notice we have the CS187. We're going to go to the source, edu, NMSU, to Smith, and here where we have hour 1, if you had multiple hours already, you'd have hour 2, 3, 4, etc., you would click on whichever one you want. In this case, hour 2. And here we have the salute.java, and notice it's a Java file. The program that I want you to attach, or the file, is this .java. Please do not copy and paste it into a Word document or send me the .class file, other files that are in there. I only want the .java file for each assignment. This makes it much easier for me to grade, and if you followed the convention that I've told you, it will be very easy for you to find, submit, and maintain. So of course then you would say open, submit assignment, and you're done. One thing before we go, I want to set up hour 3 just so that you have that experience one more time. This process will be done a bunch. There's 24 hours in here plus our final project, so you're going to do this time and time again. So we're going to go to source, right click, new, package, and that will be edu.nmsu.lastname.hour3. And there it is. And so the hour 3 assignments will then be created by saying right click, new, class, you'll name it, and hit finish. Well, thank you very much. If you have questions, feel free to contact me, Canvas email, or if you would like to have a virtual meeting online or in my office, feel free to contact me. Look forward to helping you find a new and exciting path in Java. And until then, happy coding.